1980 Dodge Aspen. Today we're taking out a wheel lock. Let's get it. YouTube, what is going on? It is your boy Chris Rod here, and today we're going to be taking out the wheel lock off of a 1980 Dodge Aspen. No one has a clue what kind of car this is, but that's okay because we're taking out a wheel lock, and we're doing this wheel lock removal without a key. Let's get over to it. I'll show you how to do it. My breaker bar, dog. Oh. Something I do want to start off by saying is that if you plan on getting this little kit from your local auto parts store that says, oh, it can remove strip lug nuts and wheel locks, this is the biggest piece of shit that they could possibly ever buy. Do not do it. I tried it and it sucks. Let's continue. All right, so here we are at the wheel that we're going to perform the wheel lock removal on. And the first thing that I do, or that you're going to want to do, is take your PB blaster, and what you're going to want to do is lubricate the end of the wheel lock itself. And the reason that I'm doing this is that the PB blaster can break up any kind of rust and or debris, any loose materials in the back. Let that soak in there for about 5 minutes, come back to it, and then we're ready for step number 2. All right, and so the next thing that you're going to want to do is, since you just finished putting PB blaster all over this wheel lock, what you want to do is kind of clean this up a little bit. That way when you put your socket in, it's going to have a nice dry area to just lock into, and you can hammer it in as much as you can, then it won't slip. Let that brake clean do what it has to do. You want to get the surrounding parts of the wheel lock, and that's going to get all kinds of dirt, grease, and that PB blaster we just finished spraying on out of there, and make this for a nice, easy, and simple removal. Next thing you want to do, I like to take my 1/2-inch drive extension and then put it onto the lug nut that I'm going to be using. Make sure that whatever lug nut that you want to use a 12-point socket. Excuse me, I said lug nut. Whatever socket that you want to use a 12-point socket. It's very important. More points you have in the socket, the more area that this can actually grab when you hammer this in. As well, make sure that the socket fits just about snug over the entire wheel lock. You want it to make sure it's as snug as can be, nice and tight, so that you can grab on it firmly. Firmly grasp it! And it's able to crack this thing right loose. Next thing, we're going to take our socket here, since again mine is 25. You might have to use like a 20. It all varies and differentiates. So take this, stick it on here, and we're going to hammer it in a little bit.
That's what she said.
I like to hammer it in with the extension because it's easier. Nice. Nice. Just like that, I want to say this is pretty much ready for us to turn loose. Next step, take a good old breaker bar, shove it in that extension, and get to turning. And if I did this right, and this goes well, this will loosen up. Let's hope this works. Oh man, I cracked a little bit. Feel me now. There she is. And just like that, we have a lug nut that is coming out freely. And so you know that this ain't oh, I think I moved this. Holy Jesus. So that we know. There she is, plain sight. The only issue with this removal is gonna be that you may have to sacrifice a couple sockets in order to get this wheel lock off. Now, if you have a vise, clamp this onto the vise and then use a smaller extension to knock this wheel lock right off the socket that you just purchased, maybe at your AutoZone or your Advance. This process does work. You did see it had a minor flaw, but if you look onto the wheel lock closely, you'll notice whether you're getting the wheel lock alone or if you're slipping off of it. So be sure that when you're doing this with ease, don't use an impact wrench. I tried it. It was the dumbest thing I did. I spent like $30 on sockets because I used an impact. My fault. Whatever. And there you have it. You saw me take out a wheel lock on a car that's roughly over maybe 30 years old. Now, there was a little mishap that happened, which is perfect. I'm actually glad that happened in this particular video because it shows you the reality of what can happen when you do a wheel lock removal without the key. Do not expect to get it at the first try. Now, if you all enjoyed this video and you found it helpful in any kind of way, and you found it very helpful, be sure to leave a like. Don't forget, smash that subscribe button as well as ring notification bell. Until the next video, got more comments with your boy Chris Rod, and I'll see all you lovely people later. Peace. Préndele, do cacha y sube